In this video, let's take a look at some of the craziest courtroom reactions of criminals who've committed crimes you cannot comprehend. Camilla Gamet. The trial of Camilla Gamet was a shocking and gripping legal drama that grabbed the nation's attention. Gamet was accused of violently killing her boyfriend, Marcel Hill, out of jealousy. The prosecution showed evidence of Gamet's history of abusing Hill, while the defense argued that she acted in self-defense because she felt victimized. Emotions were high in the courtroom.
I also remember the cries of help that he screamed as you plunged that knife in and out of his body.
And she was given a life sentence in prison without the chance of parole. Hill suffered from 11 wounds caused by sharp objects and other injuries believed to be caused by various weapons, such as a frying pan, floor lamp, end table, and a long knife.
Die in prison as well. You know, if this was a death penalty state, you'd be getting the chair.
Gamet argued that Judge John McBain of the Jackson County Circuit Court had shown favoritism toward the prosecution during the trial, among other issues. Chris McNabb. The trial of Christopher McNabb was a heartbreaking courtroom scene to witness. McNabb was accused of killing his 15-day-old baby girl, Aaliyah, in anger. The prosecution presented strong evidence that McNabb violently shook the baby, causing her death. The emotional testimonies and graphic evidence deeply affected those watching. McNabb's defense team argued that he was innocent and raised doubts about the prosecution's case.
So that doesn't make sense either. And you know, just to let the record show that I don't think I ever put my hands on her in front of those kids. And I just don't feel like just because somebody has domestic issues.
On the dynamics of the courtroom, it shocked and surprised people because it was unexpected. Ariel Castro. The Ariel Castro trial was a horrifying and alarming case that shocked people worldwide. Castro had abducted 3 young women and kept them prisoners for over 10 years, subjected them to terrible abuse and torture. During his sentencing, Castro denied any guilt and blamed his victims for his actions, trying to downplay the severity of the abuse they endured. This statement caused anger and disbelief among those present in the courtroom. Despite Castro's calm appearance, the evidence against him was overwhelming, and he eventually admitted guilt by pleading guilty to multiple charges. As a result, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Jodi Arias. Arias was charged with the brutal murder of her former boyfriend, Travis Alexander, driven by jealousy. The prosecution presented strong evidence, such as crime scene photos and DNA evidence, connecting Arias to the crime. Arias claimed innocence and argued self-defense, but her version of events was inconsistent and hard to believe.
With at least 2 deadly weapons, a gun and at least 1 knife. The crime involved substantial planning and preparation.
Ignacio Rodriguez. The trial of Ignacio Rodriguez was a gripping legal spectacle. Rodriguez, a wealthy and influential defendant, faced accusations of brutally murdering Maria Gomez, a housekeeper employed by his family. The evidence against Rodriguez was compelling, including DNA found at the crime scene and testimonies from witnesses. Although he claimed innocence, Rodriguez was ultimately found guilty and given a life sentence in prison.
He'd be sentenced to 50 years confinement,
irrespective of a person's social standing. Samantha Davis. Samantha Davis, a former sports coach from Carlsbad, California, went through a difficult divorce and custody battle that filled her with anger towards her ex-husband. Overwhelmed by resentment and jealousy, Samantha conspired with her boyfriend, Weldon McDavid Jr., to harm him. They devised a plan to lure him to a secluded place where McDavid shot him, but fortunately, he survived the attack. Upon receiving her sentence, Samantha was handed a 50-year prison term and collapsed in court. Seth Welsh and his wife. Religious beliefs and distrust of medicine can cause tragic outcomes when they lead to neglecting necessary medical care. Some people strongly believe in their religion and think that prayer or religious practices alone can heal illnesses. They may even go so far as refusing or delaying seeking medical help because of those beliefs. Others may mistrust medicine and view doctors' treatments or medications as harmful or ineffective. This mistrust can come from personal experiences, cultural beliefs, or misinformation. As a result, they may avoid or reject medical assistance even in urgent situations. In the case of Seth Welsh and his wife, their extreme religious beliefs and mistrust of medicine caused them to ignore the needs of their 10-month-old daughter. They didn't provide her with the necessary medical care and nutrition she needed, leading to her tragic death from dehydration and malnutrition. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.